Well, as I see it, and not only as I see it, more and more as other people are starting to see it. There's a lot of whistleblowers out there. A lot of people in the higher echelon now are realising that not only has the public been conned, but so have they, by someone above them, the drug companies and the medical boards and all that, right? Who are supposed to keep the doctors honest, but what they're really doing is keeping the doctors dishonest. They don't want the truth. They'll be all out of business. They want to keep their mumbo-jumbo, right? They talk about the religious people and their mumbo-jumbo, but I tell you what, so-called scientists, they're absolutely, it's unbelievable. They're virtually depraved, what they're doing. They twist the statistics, they twist the meaning of words and their experiments, make out that polio and all these other diseases have been conquered by their vaccinations, when it's quite the reverse, right? All they've done is change the names of the diseases, change their names, right? Don't use the name polio anymore, but it's out there with a slightly different variation, if anything. In fact, there's more disease now and sickness than there was before, because all these vaccinations and drugs they're taking are exacerbating the people's sicknesses. You've been conned. You people out there, you've been conned. You know, we look at the primitive caveman and the old witch doctors in the old days, and the old chiefs of the old tribes and that, and the witch doctors with their potions. We are no different. In fact, we're worse. The only thing is we're a bit more sophisticated. We use these highfalutin long names, right, of these drugs they give you, right? And the germs and bacteria, they say, they give them high names, long names. And we say, oh, they're scientists, they must know what they're doing, they're educated. Well, either one of two, they're either educated fools or they're bribed fools. Or both. That's what they are. It's time to pull the plug on these people. And a breath of fresh air, yes. I can see it now. The root opposition now is becoming established, and once it becomes established, it will increase. All right. There's no way now that these people can continue to justify their absurdity. All right. As stupid as the sheep are out there, right, and gullible as they are, there's a limit to how much you can con them. There's a limit, and when you've got a few people in the higher echelon, right, realising and feeling guilty what they've done, right, and examining a bit deeper with all the gobbledygook they've got, right, they are exposing them. And all these drug companies and the politicians that have been getting bribed and subsidies and all that, they're all getting a bit uncomfortable now, right? All this higher echelon they've got, about 90% of it's bloody crap. So there's trillions of dollars being wasted on this nonsense, trillions, all over the world. Especially with America and their big drug companies there, and going to Africa and conning the bloody Negroes up, right? When all their sickness is based on bloody sewage in the water, etc., etc., right? And that's what's low on their health. Got nothing to do with the bloody, well, if the immune system and the bacteria are there, it's only because their bodies are have deteriorated with their food they're eating. Right, that's why it is. They try and make it, oh no, a healthy person can get it. This is their criteria. And if a germ comes along, doesn't matter how healthy you are, that's it. Well, maybe if you're a healthy person, they sit down and they fill you up with all those vaccinations, maybe you can get sick. But if you're left alone, you won't. You might get a little bit of uncomfort occasionally, but overall you don't. There'll be hardly any sickness and disease. So that's what's going to come. They're skating on thin ice now. They're going to go. The public's starting to wake up. The nurses in the hospital now are refusing to take the vaccinations. Although a lot of the higher echelon there are getting troops over there to try and bully people into it, and threatening parents with jail if they don't vaccinate their kids, the bully boys. They're still out there, those, what can I say? They're worse than the commos, the way they're bullying people around. I used to think the commos were bad. Well, I just still think they are. But we're not much better, right? We're not much better the way we're going on over there. So, I could give you the... I've been looking it all up on the web, right? And these other scientists, right? They're giving you the names of all these alternate diseases they're giving us. They got the names for. I could go into the detail, but I don't need to. All you got to do is get on the web, look up Vera Schneider, right, and these other scientists, and the names of all these alternate bloody diseases that they're conning us with, right. That's all you've got to do. Don't take my word for it, just go and look it up. Anyhow, I'll sign off at that.